All right, guys, I'm going to introduce your 250 podium from Anaheim 3, Christian Craig, Vince Friese, and Michael Moseman. So I'm going to go ahead and start this off with a question for Christian Craig. Christian, extending the points lead tonight. You never want to see another guy in the field go down, but Hunter Lawrence suffered tonight in the points. And for you to have that little bit of breathing room, are you going to sleep a little better at night?
Yes and no. It's like I just got to keep the momentum going, just keep doing what I'm doing. It's a bummer that did happen. I felt like that was a good battle brewing. He was matching me in the whoops, and we were only 4 laps in, so I felt like he was pushing the envelope, and unfortunately it bit him, and it bit a lot of riders tonight. So after I saw him go down, I kind of checked up. I just focused on my laps and no mistakes, and just was very cautious with lappers. I feel like it's pretty sketchy out there tonight. So, yeah, I mean, it's a bummer that Hunter did go down, but it's a good way to go on this little break we have and just keep the momentum going for Seattle.
All right, we're going to turn it over to the pros. Jason Wygant.
Yeah, Michael Moseman, you went down in the whoops. A lot of guys went down in the whoops. What made them so tough tonight?
There was a number of us out there kind of walking the track afterwards, and the first 5 or so weren't all that bad. But there was one 9 in or something, and it was just a curb all the way across, and it was really tricky because it was like they all just looked the same, and they all just looked cupped out and edged out to where it was tough to even see where you were going to hit and what line you were going to hit. And, sometimes they're grooved out, and then it causes almost, little mounds. And then there's just so many edges, and it's not like you can I know a spot where I can go without an edge. And so you're coming in hesitant to begin with because you don't know what you're going to hit. And I think that's what made them tricky.
Josh Moseman.
Josh Moseman, Motocross Action. Thank you guys. Congratulations, Vince and Christian, Michael as well. Really gnarly track tonight. It's got to throw one to the guy I share last name with. Michael, you ran into a tough block, went down early in the race, and came through the pack. Hey, when did you know you could hit the podium? At what point? And then was there a riders meeting or something going on in the end of the whoop section? Because there's a lot of guys hanging out there. Is that why you stopped there? Or what happened?
Josh, that's a terrible question, but I'll answer it anyways. You know what? I think as immediately I thought I could get to the podium as soon as I hit that tough block, and I was like, I can get back to the podium. And, unfortunately, Joe Shimoda went down, and Christian, I'd already seen him do it. So, and I think Christian and I are similar pace. And so I was like, I can come through. And a night like this where the whoops are so treacherous, the gaps are bigger. And I felt pretty strong in them all night. Most of the night. They were giving out free snacks. There was a guy over there, one of the flaggers, and so those of us who were maybe a little hungry, we were just kind of having a little pit stop. Yeah, bummer deal really. But I don't have anything to say.
All right, picking up on that real quick, you lost your transponder doing that, but what else happened to the bike?
My clutch lever was straight down. And then there was something that flew off when I hit the next rhythm. Probably wasn't important. So it was bent up a little bit, a little tweak, but nothing too crazy.
All right, thank you. Big fan of you, and awesome job.
I love you, man. I love you.
All right, good times.
All right, we're going to head on over to Jamie.
Don't you just love the media?
All right, let's go to Vince Friese. This is a question I'd like everybody's response to, but we probably don't have time for that. So, Vince, with the break coming up, you just got on the podium for the first time this year. We're going into a break. A lot of guys are banged up. They probably need the break, but at the same time, you're kind of on a roll. and in 5 weeks you got to start all over. Do you want the break, or would you rather just keep going?
Yeah, no, actually, so for me, I'm going to hop on the 450 Monday morning, and we're going to race Minneapolis on the 450. I got to ride the bike once last week and had a blast. Honestly, it's pretty cool to be able to change it up in the middle of the year and kind of get rid of that monotony that you get of same bike, same track, week after week. And yeah, going to go mix it up with the 450 guys, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Right on. I knew that. That was a terrible question to throw to you. Sorry.
You're good.
All right, Trent.
Thanks, Christian. Trent Moto Limited. I'll go to Christian. Christian, you made the move to Florida over the break, and now you've spent the last month and a bit in California. Are you excited to go home and kind of get the kids and the family back home to a normal routine? How does that feel to just have this break?
Yeah, get the kids back in school. So they had a little nice 7-week break, but yeah, I get to drive the truck back in the morning to Florida, so that'll be fun, 2-day trip. But yeah, I'm excited. Get home, but this still feels like home to me, California. Just a lot of good vibes here, so gonna miss it, but get back to work in Florida and grind out some outdoors for a couple weeks.
Awesome, thank you.
Brad Gebhardt.
Thanks, Christian. Brad Gebhardt, Big MX Radio. This one's for Vince Friese. Vince, had you given any thought to going, instead of going to 450, hosting some clinics specifically on doing starts? Because that does seem to be your forte, and I think even some of your competition would attend some of those.
I think I'm going to put on a clinic in the 450 class next weekend. we're gonna have some fun with those guys.
That's amazing. Well, let's talk racecraft a little bit. And there's been a lot of things said about how you race your motorcycle. I'm not here to talk about that, but who do you model your racecraft after? Like, who have you sort of taken some tips from in that regard, or have you?
I mean, I've always looked up to all the guys. I try to take the good from all the old pros and the current guys too. But yeah, I'm just racing as hard as I can every time the gate drops, and yeah, it might make some of these guys a little irritated sometimes, but yeah, I'm just trying as hard as I can every time I'm out there.
All right, well, that's the 450's problem now. Thanks, Vince.
All right, Justin Schooler.
Thanks, Christian. Yeah, Justin Schuler with Kicking the Tires. Vince, we'll stay with you. Usually, we'll ask how people's days were and all that stuff. I actually want to ask how the last 7 years and 9 months have been for you, because that's the last time you were on the podium. So how does it feel to finally get yourself up there on the block like this?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was starting to think it wasn't going to happen. I think I've heard the word podium so many times over the last 6 months, thinking that's kind of the goal, right? And I kind of blew a few over the last few weeks. I kind of had a couple locked up and blew them. So yeah, tonight I was super nervous that whole race, because it felt like everything played out to where I had it, and it was just probably the worst riding I've done all year. But yeah, we were kind of all racing the track tonight, and that might have helped me a little bit stay locked in and just get through it. But I was definitely nervous, stiff, and just happy to see that white flag and then the checkered flag and get it done with. And hopefully now moving forward, when we get back on the little bike in a few weeks or 6 weeks, whatever it is, I can loosen up a little bit and know that I've got one done and ride a little bit more like myself when we get out there.
Well, that's going to be my follow-up question, because like you said, you've been in a podium position before a few times earlier this year, and now that you finally got that monkey off your back, what was the biggest thing that you really learned from those races earlier this year?
Man, I don't know. It was just weird little stuff going wrong, and like you said, now I think next race is Seattle on the 250, I believe, and that's kind of our team's hometown race, and I'm excited there because it's like pressure's off to get on the box and go out there and just let it eat and have some fun. And we're kind of out of the championship thing. Christian's riding so good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to get on the 450 and then getting back on the 250 with kind of no pressure. Let's just go see how good I can ride.
Michael Antonovich.
Thanks, Kristen. Christian, for you, just going into what you have going in these next few weeks, like you said, going to go do a little bit of 450 time. How does that transition when you go back to Supercross because it is such a bigger bike, everything going faster?
Yeah, say I was going 450 like to Supercross and then back to 250, that would probably be tricky. But now that I'm going outdoor to 450 and then jumping back straight to Supercross, so I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. And it'll be short. I think it'll be 2 weeks, maybe a little bit more of outdoors, and then we'll get straight back to Supercross. So yeah, our break is it's tricky, or it's weird this year. Usually we get an 8-week break and then it's like 2 rounds, and this year we get 5. And then we do 2, and then another break, and then 2. So gotta like just play it smart, try to get some outdoor testing in, but then also stay on top of Supercross.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Let's go with Ryan from Cycle News.
Thanks. Yeah, this one's for Vince. Vince, last week, obviously crazy week. And then this weekend, I believe, is a career best. What do you do to stay level-headed between the emotions?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the main event was tough for me just because I've been so close and blown it for the last few weeks in a row. So keeping my focus was really difficult throughout that main event. And maybe the track being so tough tonight kind of helped me with that, because it was almost like if you lift your focus at all, you're going to get bit real quick. And yeah, it just kind of helped me lock in a little bit. I mean, I was peeking at the board every lap, counting down the time and making sure, seeing where all the other guys were at. But it was tough to stay somewhat locked in for the whole time. And it wasn't my best riding, but got through it.
All right, let's go to Nick with the Moto Limited Show.
Thanks, Kirsten. Nick Still, Moto Limited Show. Let's go, Vince. Vince, previous years you've spent in the 450 class. This year you've stepped down to the 250. What are the biggest surprises you've learned from the 250 class, the biggest differences, and then going back to the 450 next week? What's some of the things you've learned you're going to take back to it?
If anything, it just gave me kind of like a boost of not really confidence, but just made me feel good to be up front every weekend, and obviously now to be up on the box and accomplish a couple goals. And yeah, it just kind of gave me some energy. I think the team some energy, and we're going to bring that over to the 450 class next week, and then bring it back down into this class when we get back to Seattle, and keep having fun. I think I'm having a blast. The team's having a blast, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. We're going to keep it rolling.
All right, Johnny from X Racing Magazine.
Yes, Johnny Hobby, X Racing Magazine. This is for Vince and Christian. After what happened last weekend, did you guys talk it through before tonight's race, and did that bother you, or were you thinking of that what happened last weekend tonight?
Yeah, he sent me a note, and yeah, I mean, other than that, we haven't talked.
I saw a handshake on the podium.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess so.
I
Yeah,
thought that was
handshake,
notable.
and but yeah, he sent me a note midweek, and read that, and yeah, I mean, it's a racing incident, and I've completely moved on. I got to focus on what was tonight, and I can't dwell on that too long. So yeah, it was a bummer deal, but those things happen. You just got to learn from it and move on.
Alex?
Yeah, thanks. Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. This one's for Christian. I know that you're not doing the 450 in Supercross, obviously, on the East Coast, but with the type of form that you're in, is there any itch to, especially a race up in terms of the points now, is there any real itch for you to get out there, and yeah, where are you at with that?
Yeah, preseason, I actually mentioned it a couple times to the team. And like, to be in this position, this is obviously my goal, is to win this championship, or be in the position I am. So it would be fun, but it's a lot of risk. So, and I wouldn't be fighting for a championship there, but yeah, you never know. Who knows if I get a call one day to go race around or something. So I'm all about it. I want to keep going. I'm not all about these 5-week breaks or any break. I want to keep racing and keep going every weekend. So yeah, as long as I'm riding, I'm happy.
No worries.
Trent,
Thank you.
with the Moto Limited Show.
Thanks, Christian. Trent, Moto Limited Show. I'll go to Michael. Michael, last week you had a pretty big get-off in that final Triple Crown race. How banged up with you during the week? And I mean, you had a couple of crashes again tonight. Is the body feeling okay? You looking forward to this break?
Honestly, I'm nursing a few different things. Everyone's been telling me it was a big get off. I refuse to watch the replay because I just don't want to dwell on it. I'm nursing a few different things. I actually, in the heat race at Anaheim 2, someone hit me from the inside and my knee's been bruised up a little bit. And I was like, even then, and it's still kind of, that was maybe one of the most hindering things at the moment. And then actually last week in the first practice, I had a crash, and I found out at the end of last weekend, I went to Asterix and got an x-ray, and I actually broke my hand. And so, yeah, there's that. But it's like totally good. Like I've been actually like fist bumping today, and like it's kind of strange, but just kind of trying to stay on top of it and take care of the body. Looking forward to the break, get healthy, go back to Florida and chill a little bit. And also, I'm really fired up and motivated from just the performance tonight. I think that I left a lot on the table, and I had a lot to offer. And so excited and motivated for the break.
Thanks, man.
Jamie?
Christian, the track, and this is a third Anaheim. Talk about the difference in the dirt over the 3 races. It really, from home, looked like it just was beat, dried, very hard packed and dusty, and during the day, and really just kind of fell apart at night. Is that how it was on the track?
Yeah, but I feel like A2 and A3 were similar. They had to put a bunch of water in during the day, so it was sketchy during the day, and then it was decent at night. So tonight was tricky because it had some ruts, but then some very slick spots. So I learned that in the heat race, and I was like, all right, I got to be patient in this turn, and I can pick it up here. So, but the whoops just were the deciding factor tonight. So even had a few close calls in them. I couldn't find the right line in them. I was going right, left, middle, and I felt like every time was, a little sketchy, but just stayed consistent in them and hit my marks, hit my lines, did my laps. So, yeah, that's all I could ask for.
Yeah, don't feel bad. Nobody could find a good line through them.
Weege.
Yeah, Jason for RacerX. Vince, a lot of noise this week from a lot of sources, myself included, fans, all that. How are you able to focus and get to the task at hand? You put in your best result of the year. How are you able to do that?
It honestly made my week a little bit easier. I just stayed away from the phone and anything to do with it, and kind of just did a few more reps in the gym, a few more miles on the bicycle or laps at the track, whatever it was, and tried to carry that into this weekend and stay focused. Obviously, being in the position I was in that main event was that was the toughest part of the week and the day, to just stay focused and click off those laps. And there was some pressure there for sure to finally get it done, and I was counting down the clock there for sure.
All right, guys, we are going to wrap this up with 3 hard-hitting questions from yours truly. First of all, Christian, Valentine's Day is Monday. You have a beautiful wife. Have you given Valentine's Day any thought yet?
Yeah, of course. There's something on order, but I'll be driving cross country, so unfortunately.
One of the few that's remembered, guys. I've asked a lot of guys in the paddock this question, and most of them have not given it any thought. I'm trying to save you guys in a little way, too. Michael Moseman, how do you plan on celebrating? Stealing one of your questions.
I have celebrating Valentine's Day? Or
no, celebrating the
tonight?
Podium, as you've asked every other writer in the press
podium?
conference.
Well, I don't think this one gets a whole lot of celebration.
You don't celebrate podiums?
You know what? I do celebrate podiums. Anaheim 2, I was a little bit under the weather, and so I really wanted to take care of my body, and I had like a great race that night. Mm. And I never celebrated because I wanted to like...
Isn't your question usually like ice cream or cookies? Isn't that your follow-up?
No, it's just natural. It's not like,
Oh, am I forcing it?
It's not rehearsed.
Am I rehearsing it and forcing it?
But I will say, I could go for some ice cream. So
okay, so that's how you're celebrating. Okay, Vince, Valentine's Day also on Monday. Have you given it any thought?
I have, and we've planned a big day for Monday. I have to totally dial in my 450 race bike before the truck leaves. So
A cast of all-stars, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, it's gonna be a tough Valentine's Day.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to close this one out. All the good social media questions asked. And I thank you guys. Your 450 podium from Anaheim 3. I thought I had it. I thought I was asking the good question.
Thanks.
That was decent.